I do have some remarks regarding this bill. It is definitely one of my proudest days as a citizen of our great county. I'm proud to introduce Bill 27-19, Administration Human Rights Office of Racial Equity and Social Justice, Racial Equity and Social Justice Committee. This bill is the culmination of an exciting journey that started in April of last year when the former County Council adopted Resolution 18-1095, affirming the Council's commitment to creating a racial equity and social justice policy for Montgomery County. The buy-in on this current council and in our various communities has been terrific. Working as a team of leaders, we have inspired truly courageous conversations at an auspicious time in the history of our nation and our county. I want to thank every one of my colleagues on this council for your collaboration and commitment, for your fine leadership at this crucial time. This bill, which seeks to codify and institutionalize the consideration of norms of equity and social justice in the important work of county government, is a result of our work as a team. Alongside County Executive Mark Elrich, his staff, and our constituents who have provided valuable feedback during the county's community conversations on racial equity and social justice this summer, as well as through the application of our community engagement toolkit that was distributed online and in print to encourage residents to host their own community conversations on racial equity and social justice. The bill, as currently drafted, will do the following. It will establish a racial equity and social justice program. It will establish an Office of Racial Equity and Social Justice in the executive branch. It will remove the Chief Equity Officer position in the Office of the Executive as a non-merit position. This is to avoid duplication. It will require the executive to adopt, through regulation, a racial equity and social justice action plan for the county. It will require each department and office to develop a racial equity and social justice action plan. It will require the executive to submit a racial equity and social justice impact statement to the council for each bill and for each management initiative or program in the recommended budget. It will establish a racial equity and social justice advisory committee and set forth the composition and duties of such committee. It will require the planning board to consider racial equity and social justice impact when preparing a master plan, and generally amend the law governing racial equity and social justice. Recognizing that the implementation of Bill 27-19 rests with the executive branch, this bill also calls for the creation of a structure at the County Council to provide oversight of the county's progress in meeting its racial equity and social justice goals. After today's introduction, in addition to soliciting feedback in writing, there will be an afternoon and evening public hearing scheduled on Tuesday, October 29th, here at the Council. This bill has been assigned to the Government Operations and Fiscal Policy Committee, and we have a session on Monday, November 4th, scheduled, and my colleagues are welcome to attend that session. Also, the plan is to have the final legislation adopted in late November. Finally, I would be remiss if I did not thank all the people who have worked tirelessly to produce this draft bill, starting all the way in January as we set forth on this journey. I want to thank Attorney Bob Drummer, who is our senior legislative attorney, for working closely with Dr. Elaine Bonner-Tompkins of the Office of Legislative Oversight, Tiffany Ward in the County Executive's Office, and my amazing team Navarro, who has been working on this for 2 years, actually. I want to thank them for producing this excellent document that will serve as the space for putting together all that we need to make our county a place that is even more welcoming for all. I will also say that, as has been discussed briefly and in many other occasions, this is not the magic wand, it's not the panacea, it's not the everything. This is the beginning of addressing this issue in a structural fashion, in a systemic way, so that it will outlive anybody who sits in this dais and will guide the work of county government into the future. Again, I want to thank my colleagues for all the work and all of those in the community who have come out to give us feedback. It's been really an extraordinary experience.